Good morning, this is Philip Love. I am the creator and founder of Reiki, Gong, Dynamic Health. I'm here to give you a brief introduction to the practice before you go into the actual DVD series and look at the various level 1, level 2 forms, as well as the Breath Empowerment and Mudra DVD. What is Reiki Gong? Well, let's talk about the two elements that were combined to create Reiki Gong. First of all, there's something called Reiki. Rei meaning in the Japanese kanji, higher consciousness, and ki meaning energy, ki or chi. In Korea and Japan, they call energy ki, not chi. In China, they call it chi. So Reiki is higher consciousness energy that when you get attuned, you're able to channel through your crown chakra, into your heart chakra, out your arms, through your hands. You're able to channel that in healing yourself and healing others. Now, this is an ancient practice that goes back to ancient Tibet. It was rediscovered by Dr. Mikao Usui in 1925 in Japan while he was meditating on a mountain in Japan that's famous for meditation. Forget the name of it now. And it's practiced by over 3 million practitioners worldwide. So that's where the Reiki comes from. Now, Qigong, or Qigong, but we call Qigong because my particular teacher is from Korea, is energy work or energy management. And this is also an ancient practice that dates back to China, in the Taoist era of China. And Qigong is really the basis of all Chinese medicine, whether it be herbs or whether it be acupuncture, whether it be the moving and the exercises like Tai Chi and Taoist yoga. All of these things are a part of Qigong. So several years ago, I was studying with a Reiki master up in the Catskill Mountains, and I noticed he was doing a lot of exercises from one of the top Tao teachers in the world, Mantak Chia, who I've studied with in New York several times. And I began to think, well, why is there a Qigong world and a Reiki world? Why is there this different spheres? It's kind of like the Catholics and the Protestants, or the Jews and the Christians, or the Hindus and the Buddhists. This is all energy. There's only one source of energy. There's only one energy flowing through all of life, which is Qi. It comes from a divine source we call the Tao. You may have another name for it: God, Presence, Jehovah, Allah, Bhagavan. There's many names for it, but it is one source of energy, and that energy is really the body of the divine. So we're living in a sea of Qi energy. This is a fact. Even Einstein said this is a fact. We are just energy. So the matter is not, is there energy? The matter is, how much are we aware of that? And how much can we master that and use that to create a sense of health, well-being, peace of mind, mental and emotional stability, and even fuel our spiritual and our eternal soul growth? It's all connected. There aren't any separate spheres of life. There is no spiritual world outside of the physical world. There is no physical world outside of the spiritual world. There is no mind outside the body. There is no body outside the mind. It's all a one unitive continuum, and it's all fueled by energy. So Reiki Gong was established in 2009 to bring together the ancient traditions of healing in high consciousness energy of Tibet with the Taoist practices of China and Korea and Japan. And we put this together in a synergistic fashion that creates something that is much, much more than 1 + 1 = 2. I like to say 1 + 1 is 10. And for the most part, the feedback I've got from the many students I've taught since 2009 is this is a fact, that they experience a rapid growth in their ability to feel, cultivate, manage, store the Qi energy within themselves, within their mind and their body and their energy systems, within the body and their auric field. And through this heightened sense of sensitivity, they feel more stable in their life, they feel more vibrant, they feel more alive, they feel more happiness, more joy, more peace, and they feel like their spiritual growth is developing very well. So this is Reiki Gong. It's not something I made up off the top of my head. These are ancient practices that date back thousands of years that have been given to me, and my only input into it is how did I put it together? Kind of like creating a good meal. You have all the elements of the meal, but then how you put it together and how you blend it brings the final result. So there are very few people doing Reiki Gong. I know there are some other people that use the name Reiki Gong, but that practice is different than this. My practice here that I've been given basically is a Qigong practice that is empowered by the Reiki symbols. Now during the various retreats and workshops that you may go to, you may get to be attuned to Reiki and have that element just as if you were strictly studying Reiki. But Reiki Gong is much more. It broadens the scope of it. It brings in other elements that aren't normally taught in traditional Reiki. And with Qigong is not traditionally taught Reiki. So we put the two together and we've created this beautiful practice. Please enjoy these DVDs. You can go on the Facebook site that we'll put here on the screen at the end. On the Facebook site, I have a radio show on Blog Talk Radio called Reiki Gong Hour of Power. I also have a Reiki Gong YouTube channel where you can go and visit and see various DVDs regarding health, wellness, nutrition, food healing, Qigong, Reiki, Reiki Gong. It's a very rich channel. We're building it out now. But you can find it on YouTube if you just put Reiki Gong into the search box. We have plans to open an academy. Right now we're in the studio I have here in Yellow Springs, Ohio. We also have an office in Jaipur, India that opened recently because I've been invited to India for a healing tour, 10-city healing tour this fall. And we're going to be raising money to start the first ever Reiki Gong natural hospital based on the 10 protocol natural healing that I developed that includes the Reiki Gong practice that you're going to see in these DVDs. So once again, please enjoy. God bless. Namaste. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme. So this one today is the third DVD in the first series called Breath Empowerment and Mudra. So what I'm going to go through today is the mudras that we'll be using during this particular practice. Now these mudras, there are many mudras out there to choose from in the ancient teachings. I'm going to be using 3 different mudras for 3 different segments. One will be mudra for your physical health. 3 of them. One will be mudras for your mental health, and one will be 3 mudras for your spiritual health. So the first one basically is longevity. All right, this is the mudra for longevity. While we do these mudras, we want to breathe for about 2 minutes deeply into the belly and just basically experience the mudra. What happens when you do mudras is you can feel the energy shift in your energy body when you put your hands in certain mudra positions. So the first one is for longevity. Normally you'll do this for 2 to 3 minutes while you breathe deeply. We're just going to do each one for a minute because we have a limited time on the DVD series, but we would recommend that you use 2 to 3 minutes with each position. feel some tensity and some pain, you just relax and breathe into the pain and move through the pain. We're in all types of spiritual practices, when in yoga and qigong and various other things that you might do, even in physical exercise, if you're able to allow your mind to absorb the pain and digest the pain, you will find a deeper sense of connection, deeper sense of peace to the key energy and to the higher energy on the other side of that pain. Next will be feeling your energy body. It's very important that you can start to develop a sense of feeling your energy body. Because once you start to develop that sense, you'll be able to identify where there may be blockages and where there might be areas that need to be focused on, depending on where those places are in your field inside your body, in your auric field outside your body. So this is the mudra for feeling your energy body. As I do this, my palms are getting very, very full of ki energy and tingling and warmth. It's growing and growing as I do this. Next, I'm going to be doing the mudra for protecting your health, which is like this. Last, I'm going to be doing recharging, just like this. So if you feel depleted, you feel low energy, you can do this mudra for as long as you need to collect and recharge your energy. Remember to always breathe deeply through your lungs and your belly, not just your lungs. Very important to energize the lower danjana through your breath as you do these mudras. mental side of things. This is calming the mind. It's not that you may have anxiety, but your mind is just busy and you like to calm things down. Calming the mind. Now, in this case, if you do have anxiety, okay, like this. This is for anxiety. So this goes beyond just the normal mind being busy. This is really when you feel stress and anxiety, almost to the point of panic. This, and also lying in a fetal position, like you're in your mother's womb, is also very good for anxiety. You know, in the West, we tend to run to the doctor and psychiatrists, get a pill, pop a pill, and expect it to do all the work. When our body and our energy is really what we need to be working with, not external forces and chemicals and things that to put in the body to artificially relieve the symptoms. We need to work with the energy of the body and the mudra and movement and breath. These are the keys to good health. Awareness, movement, and breath. The synchronization of awareness, movement, and breath. And the free flow of key energy through our meridian system, through our auric field, through all of our organs and our blood. This is the key to successful health on every level: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and soul. Next is absence of fear or courage. Fear can be a very debilitating psychological condition and emotion to feel. And unless we can move beyond it, move through it by managing our energy and by feeling love and peace and bliss, fear is a very crippling, debilitating, stressful thing that can ruin our health on every level. So this mudra is very good for that. Last one in the mental side is inner security, peace of mind, inner security. Because through meditation and energy work, practice, building up your ki, you can create real inner security that is not dependent upon circumstance. but it emanates from your own soul, your own spirit, your own energy system, your auric field, your chakras, your danjans. It's the focus of Reiki Gong Dynamic Health, is to build the energy fields, to understand them, to build them, to manage them, to collect energy, to be strong on the energetic level, so that life circumstances do not hurt you so much and create instability, create disease. Let's move on to the spiritual now. Sometimes we need answers. We're looking for guidance. We're looking for the universe to tell us what is the best way to go. We may be at a crossroads in our life. We may be struggling with something. We may simply be looking for an answer that's critical to us. This is the mudra for guidance. Breathe deep through your diaphragm into your belly. Next, wisdom. This is the mudra for wisdom. The difference between wisdom and knowledge is wisdom comes through life experience. Knowledge is things we study in the book and we memorize. Knowledge is not living. Knowledge is just book learning. Wisdom is living. It has a living energy because it comes through applying knowledge to life experience and gaining deeper insight and wisdom. We all have this capacity to function in our brain, in our energy system. We also all have the crown chakra, which opens and connects to higher dimensions of consciousness, where we can also get many answers to our various questions in life through opening the crown chakra, opening the third eye in terms of insight. Wisdom is all tied into this. Now we'll take a look at higher consciousness. The mudra for higher consciousness. which is the mudra of divine worship. We worship our own inner light, our own inner guru, our own inner Buddha nature, our Christ consciousness. And we recognize that in others, in all other human beings, all of the sentient beings, all of creation. We recognize the divinity in everything, which is what Namaste means. It's a mudra of divine worship. The Western traditions being a little bit more focused on prayer rather than meditation, the East being focused on meditation. This is also similar to prayer, the mudra of prayer. Or divine worship in the West is prayer. You'll find this in the Hindu tradition, the Buddhist tradition, the Zen tradition, the Taoist tradition. Maybe others. So those are 12 mudras. 4 in each category: physical health, mental health, and spiritual development. There are many others. I encourage you to go online to check out various websites that can show you the various mudras. There are also some other DVDs out there that are strictly focused on this. Now we're going to move into, first Namaste. Now we're going to move into the breath empowerment section. And in our practice, although there are many breath techniques that you can use. As a matter of fact, the one group that we study with, Love University, has over 635 different breathing techniques based on sacred geometry. We're going to focus on 3 of them in this particular DVD. The first one is called the G breath, or gamma breath. The second one is called fire belly breath, or tumo breath. And the third one is called warrior breath. And I'm going to explain each one of them, and I'm going to demonstrate them to you. So let's start with the G breath. The G breath is called gamma breath, and the reason is this. You basically have 6 different brain waves where your brain pattern or mental activity is at any time. There's beta, which is high beta and low beta, so there are 2. So there's normal, there's heightened normal. Then there's alpha, which is really a little bit slower. It's more geared towards super learning and absorbing and understanding things. Then you have theta, which are slowing down quite a bit, that you experience most of the time in sleep or deep meditation, which has to do with dreams. This is the state of mind, or the state of brainwave function that you are at when you're dreaming. And then finally is delta, which is dreamless sleep. When you're at dreamless sleep, when you're pretty much totally unconscious and you're asleep, this is delta. In the Hindu tradition, it says that in delta, or in dreamless sleep, this is when the energy of God merges with you and replenishes your physical and mental energy every night when you sleep. So this is delta. And then finally, gamma comes about when you're able to balance all of these. When you're able to balance these, something kind of magical happens in your consciousness, in your brain waves, and you go into something called gamma, which is like being in the zone, being in deep meditation, being very aware of everything. Okay? Like Michael Jordan hitting the last shot, or Tom Brady throwing that touchdown pass. They many times say that the game slows down and they feel like they're in the zone. And this is a description of the gamma. But what actually happens in gamma is once you get to the gamma, through this specific breath technique we'll show you, your pineal gland, well, first of all, stimulates the hypothalamus gland, but it also stimulates the pineal gland, which then releases a small amount of DMT into your brain. And DMT, if you don't know what that is what you experience when you get high. It's a feeling of peace, a feeling of blissfulness, a sense of calm, relaxation. Okay, so when we do the G breath, that's what we're ultimately looking to do, is release a small amount of DMT into the brain to create that sense of peace and blissfulness. Unfortunately, you don't get there with one series of breaths. You need to do the series several times. I recommend 3 times as a minimum, which means it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to do that. So I'm not going to be able to demonstrate 3 cycles. I'm going to demonstrate the first cycle to you, and then all you need to do is give yourself 5 to 10 minutes between cycles, and you can repeat that again and again as much as you'd like to go. And what happens is the release of DMT gets stronger and stronger as it builds up over time. So quite frankly, you can get just as high doing this as you can using hashish or marijuana or different types of drugs. If you have the time, you have the discipline to do the breath work, you can do this. We call this Reiki Gong, which means natural high without illegal drugs through the breath. So this is the Reiki Gong practice, one of them, and these other breaths contribute to that as well. So let me explain now, what is the G breath? First of all, there are 4 breaths. The first thing you need to do, though, is completely expel oxygen from your system. So you push everything out, okay? Then you're going to breathe. The first breath will be from mouth to mouth. The second breath